Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. In today's Journal With Me video, I'm starting with the spread for my archive journal. I watched the anime Kaiju No. 8. I thought it was so good. I actually really wanted to start reading the series, but every time I think about reading a shonen series, I talk myself out of it because they don't end. So I was really glad to see that it got an anime adaptation because it was a story that I'd really been interested in. I love big monsters, people fighting big monsters. I don't know where that comes from. I think the first kaiju movie I ever saw was that one on Cartoon Network. I don't know if you saw it when you were a kid too, but like this kid, his dad was the kaiju and his mom was a human, and I was like, how did that happen? How is he half kaiju? Is it maybe like a Teen Titans thing, Raven, how her dad I don't know, I'm not gonna speculate. Anyway, I'm using some backgrounds that I found on Pinterest, and I also found these ID cards on Pinterest as well. I really liked all the characters in the story, so I had a hard time choosing whose ID cards I was going to use. I really liked all the different skill sets that people had. Mina and Hoshina, she a baddie with her baddie friend. You know what I mean? I thought everyone was so cool. Oh, I feel like I should explain the plot of the show in case you care. So basically, one day, the main character named Hibino Kafka, very on the nose calling him Kafka, but okay. He is a cleaner in the city. He works to clean up kaiju messes. So like when the defense force comes in and eliminates the kaiju, he's part of the crew that comes and cleans all the gross gunk and, you know, the body parts. He cleans all that away. Well, one day he and his junior Ichikawa are in the hospital, and a small little bug kind of thing, like a flying thing, it comes to their hospital room, and then it goes inside of Kafka's mouth, and he suddenly can turn into a kaiju himself. Of course, this has to be kept a secret because they are literally fighting kaiju. Like, they're the bad guys. There's no way in which he can reveal his secret, so Ichikawa is the only one who knows. And as they both get positions with the defense force, it becomes increasingly harder for him to keep it a secret that he can, in fact, turn into a kaiju. I thought it was so fun. It was so funny. The scene where Kafka has to go pee and Ichikawa is like, bro, hold it. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no, like, I really can't. And then when he pees, I have never seen a scene like that before in my whole entire life. That was so funny. And I think in general, the setup for the show is so good. Like, I have a lot of questions. Why is it Kafka that was chosen? I don't even know if I should say chosen, but like, why is Kafka the one that the bug thing went to? Like, I feel like there has to be a deeper reason. I'm excited to learn more about all the tools that are being developed. I definitely know that something happens with Ichikawa because I didn't get spoiled, but like I know something happens because of course the first thing I did after finishing the show was go to Archive of Our Own because I wanted to see if anyone else felt the vibe that I felt between Ichikawa and Furuhashi. And apparently people did because I found some fics. I still have not read them. They're just sitting open in tabs, but I'm gonna read them at some point. But anyway, yeah, definitely there's going to be more development of special skills and powers and stuff. So I'm excited. I can't wait to watch more. Oh, also the villain, Kaiju No. 9, is that who it is? I do not like him. He is so creepy, like, ew. Those types of monsters freak me out so bad. It kind of like Hanami from JJK. Ew, I don't like, they're so creepy. I don't know what it is about them where it's like, they have no fear, I think is what it is. I don't like that at all. And before I'm done with this spread, I wanted to say that the stickers I used, the goldfish, the strawberry, the dolphin, all of those, I found them on Twitter and fell in love with them immediately. I'm going to be using them probably 500,000 more times. So like always, I will link that tweet below in the description box so you can download them too. This spread was really simple, but I just wanted to commemorate the fact that I watched season 1 of Kaiju No. 8. The next spread I'm making is for my movie journal. Oh my gosh, she watched a movie. She watched a movie, everyone. I watched When Marnie Was There. I actually have no idea what propelled me to watch this. I have so many Ghibli movies that I have not seen, like especially the older ones. But for some reason I was like, let me watch When Marnie Was There. I don't regret it, but it probably is my least favorite Ghibli movie that I've seen. I will say though, I loved the setting. That kind of like marshland landscape was really interesting. Where I live, if you go into the marshes like that, you will be running into alligators, you will be running into snakes. So I thought it was so interesting that they were just kind of down by the water with no care in the world. Like, I don't know if this story is based on like a certain place or not. You know how like Howl's Moving Castle, it's like Germany and stuff. I don't know if this is supposed to be based on a specific place or not. I need to look into that. In addition to loving the marsh, the house that Marnie lived in, gorgeous, absolutely loved it. The fact that it was like even secluded away from everything else and you had to get in that little boat to go over there, that's so fun. And then Anna's aunt and uncle's house, gorgeous. All the wood. Her uncle was like a craftsman. He was like a wood carver. So like, of course, their house was beautiful. The room that she stayed in, that was like her cousin's room or whatever. Why doesn't my room look like that? It has a balcony. You can overlook the ocean. Well, that's probably not. Is that the ocean? The sea? I feel like regardless of the story, just looking at the landscapes in Ghibli films is so healing. And it's weird to think that like it's cozy, because I don't think hot weather is cozy at all. I don't think summer is cozy at all. But a Ghibli film can pretty much convince me of anything, I think. Unfortunately, I felt like the plot was just kind of meh. It wasn't bad, but it just lacked like an element of magic for me somehow. I don't know what it was. Also, Anna, she was kind of acting like the Joker for no reason. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just I don't get it. I'm not adopted, and also I'm not Japanese. I've never lived in Japan. I don't know if children would kind of other you if they knew that you didn't have biological parents. But she just seemed so oddly upset to me. And then when she found out her mom gets money for her every single month, why was she like, I get why she was upset, because it's like, oh, well, would these people even want me if they weren't getting money for me? But like, it's a good thing that she was getting supplemental income to help raise Anna. I think I'm just too old to understand how a child could feel pain from that, because to me it's like, that's a good thing, because like regular parents struggle to raise their children, to afford to raise their children. So it's like, it's helpful. I think every parent everywhere should be getting supplemental income. But anyway, I did get Anna like not wanting to speak to people but kind of being forced into it. Granted, she got a little bit nasty when they went to the summer festival. Yes, there was a summer festival in this movie. You know how I feel about summer festivals. I didn't even know. Maybe subconsciously somehow I knew that there was a summer festival, and that's why I ended up watching this. Anna's yukata was so pretty. That morning glory pattern, that was so cute. And also she was mad about having to wear it. I was like, Anna, like just go to the summer festival and have a little bit of fun. Like get out of the marshes with your imaginary friend and have just like a little bit of fun. But I do relate to like people trying to force you into socializing and you don't want to. Like that is very annoying. I do get the overall plot of the story, that she went to where her aunt and uncle lived and she found out all of this history about her actual family, her biological family. I think that is really beautiful. She learned that she belongs not only in her current family, but also that she has ancestors. That sounds like really weird to call your grandma your ancestor, but I guess that's true. But she learned that she was also loved by that family as well. Took her hearing her grandmother's story and kind of going back to the place where really her family is from, where her roots are from, to understand her place in the world and to understand that she has a family. So I do get that, and I think that being the overall message of the story is really, really beautiful. Seriously, I just wish it had been told differently somehow. Like, where was the adventure? Where were the stakes? Like, not that I want anyone to be in danger or anything like that, but like there was just nothing really. So I'm glad that I watched it, and I'm definitely going to be thinking about the house. That house was just gorgeous. Truly, it was so beautiful. And the marshland and her aunt and uncle's house. Maybe one day I will get into drawing them. I used to be really into drawing buildings. I don't know what happened. The other day I was looking through an old sketchbook and I was like, whoa, when did I draw all these buildings? And also, what happened to me? Why did I stop? So to explain the spread, the backgrounds are from Pinterest, but you almost can't see them, which is a shame because I feel like I don't usually get to use vintagey backgrounds. So they were really cute. I like those. And I also used an alphabet I found on Twitter. I'll link the tweet below, as well as the Google Drive folder. Also, in the Google Drive folder, every single letter is its own individual file, so that's just something to think about. You might want to just save the letters that you think you need for now. Unlike me, I saved all of them at once. And I used lots of Canva items this time. I especially love that collection of painted items, the blueberries and the candlestick. And I used more of those Hello Kitty summer stickers, specifically Hello Kitty and Mimi, because they're dressed up just like Anna was. I actually was not feeling this spread at all when I started it, but I think it turned out so much like a scrapbook page. So it ended up matching the mood of the movie way more than I imagined. And you know what else it reminds me of? You're probably thinking the same thing I'm thinking, right? I'm gonna count to 3 and then we can say it together. Okay, 1, 2, 3. The Lisa Says Ga Bon Appetito Summer Collection. Exactly. See, I knew we understood each other perfectly. This spread is finished. The next spread I'm making is for my reading journal, and it's about a manga series I read called Dysfunctional Family Therapy. Well, I guess I should say that's what the scan team decided to call it, but I think that's a really cute title. I'm actually going kind of out of order with my video this time. Usually I go in chronological order of when I made the spreads, but I just thought, you know what? Some people might not want to hear about me talking about men kissing within the first 10 seconds of my videos, so I kind of went out of order this time. So for this spread, The backgrounds that I'm using are both from Pinterest, but I'm also using some memo notes that I saw on Twitter. There's a cherry one, which is from that like big collection of memo notes that I love using. And then the other one is part of the collection I think I used in my last video, the one that it was like a little to-do list and it looked like a pudding. Yeah, I'm using the other memo note that was in that little trio. So I'll put the links to those tweets as well as the Google Drive folders in the description box, of course. I have been so excited to record this video because I want to talk about the series so badly. First of all, the premise for it is so insane. The way it starts off is that an old lady has gathered the two main characters because her daughter has just recently passed away and both of them used to date her. And she's gathered them there because, surprise, her daughter had a child. And she said in her will that one of the main characters, is the father of that child. And not only is one of them the father of the child, she says that the child, her daughter, should pick out which one of them she wants to be her dad, and that nobody should bother with any DNA testing. Isn't that so absurd? Like, what do you mean we shouldn't bother doing a DNA test? No, like, I'm not gonna take care of a kid and it's not mine. That's absolutely crazy. The main characters aren't like strangers to each other though. They both knew each other when they were younger. And as the story goes on, you kind of slowly see glimpses back into the past when they knew each other. One of them worked at this sort of, I don't want to say it was a bar, maybe more like a music venue kind of thing, but it had a bar in it, right? And the other one, he was just kind of a student at the time, but he was in a band. So he and his band used to play there. So that's how they knew each other. And the whole story is just the two of them kind of trying to be parents and failing at it, one more than the other. And also kind of navigating their relationship because there's a lot of deep history there, even though they haven't seen each other in all these years. There's just like stuff that's gone unsaid. And slowly you see them, of course, developing feelings for each other. Well, I shouldn't say developing. I should say more like rekindling feelings for each other. I've read, I think this was my third like kind of family-centric manga series this year, but this one was definitely my favorite. It wasn't so wholesome, even though I think that's really fun too, but I feel like there was some realism in this story. Like one of the main characters, he is very cut and dry, like tells it as it is. He's not afraid to tell the little girl, like, hey, your mom was a piece of trash. That character also has kind of a sketchy job. He sort of is a yakuza, but not really. He just kind of like works for them. And the other character is a music producer, but he's also been a ghostwriter for the past few years. And I think he feels really down about himself and his accomplishments because even though his songs are popular, none of that is his name on it. Nobody knows that he's the one that's making these really good songs. Neither of them feel like they're fit or stable enough to be a dad. But in the end, they all realize that being a family is way more than just having biological ties to someone. And they're determined to make their family of three work. I seriously absolutely loved both volumes of this manga. I think that even if this was not a BL, like if there was no romance involved at all, I think it would still be such a good story. And to me, that's like the important thing for any romance story at all. There should still be a plot there regardless of the romance. Like to me, romance in itself is not a plot. There has to be something else going on. So all that is to say, I think that when I look back at the end of the year and kind of go through everything I've read and think about what my favorites were, this is definitely going to be in the top 10. When I was adding this photo to the spread, I knew I was going to have to do some strategic placing because I really try not to use any sort of unofficial translations anywhere online because like obviously you should not be sharing them. So many people do not seem to grasp that. Actually, when I was going through the mangaka's Twitter after I finished the series, there was literally a tweet in English too, a tweet about how they wanted to say thank you to readers who were just reading the official story and also how they're working on maybe hopefully getting it published in English one day. I really hate when authors act as if readers have some sort of like malicious intent. It's like, this story does not exist in English currently. It just doesn't. How would I know that I'd even want to be interested in an English publication of this if I hadn't read the unofficial version? That's just such a pet peeve of mine. Though granted, it doesn't annoy me as much as the people on BL Manhwa Twitter. Oh my goodness. You would think you were robbing their mother's house. The way those people talk about not reading illegally. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm so happy with how this spread turned out. The final spread I'll be making in this video is also for my reading journal. Yes, another BL manga. I literally, did I say this already in a video? I can't remember, but I would say on average, I read maybe like 10 mangas a year until the year 2024. And now I've read like, I don't even know how many. I don't know what's gotten into me. I think it's because all my favorite manhwas have ended and like, I'm reading some. They're ongoing though, so it's like I wouldn't be making a spread about them, you know? So it's like, it's just weird. I feel like I've kind of read all of the manhwas that have finished that I've wanted to read. I don't know. I need to reorganize my TBR like really badly, actually. Anyway, I hate the spread. Actually, the spread that I hope that you're looking at is not the one that I'm looking at because I really don't like it. And I keep telling myself I need to redo it, but I'm like, no, like you already have the screen recording for the one you made. Like, don't remake it. But I just don't really love it. But you know what I do love? The art in this manga. Absolutely. If I could rank all my favorite art styles, this kind of like sketchy but really detailed at the same time art style that I only ever see in mangas, it's at the top. It's gotta be. The art in this is so good. This is a sports BL, specifically a baseball BL. I love baseball, so anytime I come across a BL manga or a manhwa that's baseball themed, I'm always interested in checking it out. I've read the other one. I think it's called Replay. It's physically published and I enjoyed that as well. This one is about two best friends, and one of them is a pitcher and one of them is a catcher, and they have been in a little duo like that for pretty much their whole entire lives since they've been playing baseball. If one of them is pitching, that means the other is catching. However, one day, the character who's the pitcher finds himself really bad at throwing. He just cannot get the ball into the glove anymore. And everyone around him is like, it's okay, you're in a slump, this happens, it's fine. So then he tries pitching to a different catcher and he realizes, wait, my throwing arm is fine. I can still pitch perfectly well. And there's kind of like a flashback scene to like a tournament or something like that where he pitched a wild ball and his friend, the catcher, kind of got hurt. And he starts to realize the reason he can't pitch to his best friend anymore is because he doesn't want to see him get hurt. And the reason he doesn't want to see him get hurt is because, of course, he deeply cares about him, aka the two of them are in love. I thought that was so cute. Losing your athletic ability because you're scared to hurt the person you care about. That is so wholesome. And I really cannot say enough about the art, like the hand-drawn backgrounds. That panel that's in the spread is a reflection of one of the main characters looking into like a bowl of soup. How can you even be a genius like that and think about that composition for a panel? I just love when I'm looking at art and I'm like, oh, this person has mastered their craft. Actually, I think this mangaka has another manga that I've been wanting to read like for years. Like I think it's been on my TBR for years. So I might read that soon. But I think that this story is their latest one. So the art is probably the best in this one. As for the spread, I found this illustration of a baseball mitt and I thought that was perfect to use almost as sort of like a memo note to write the date in. I think the person who made this has a lot of different illustrations like that on Canva. So like I think I saw a persimmon drawn by them as well. And the other thing I found on Canva was this heart-shaped baseball. I think there was also a soccer ball and a basketball maybe. I just thought it was really cute to use sort of as like a sticker. So yeah, at this point, you definitely know more than I do about what this spread looks like. But now that it's finished, all we have left to do is put all these spreads into my journals. The time between me actually screen recording myself making spreads and then me having time to do a voice recording and then me editing the video and then me uploading the video is so long. Like it's almost the middle of August as I'm recording this. So obviously some of these spreads are almost a month old. So I'm sorry about that. Honestly, I'm such a terrible content creator. Like I think there's just something that does not come natural to me, I guess, about posting on social media and like keeping everyone updated. Cause like when you think about it, I'm really just sitting here speaking to myself. Like, yes, I know people are going to watch this video, but like in the moment, I'm like, yeah, I'm just talking to myself. Thank you though for being so patient with me always. Thank you for waiting. I hope that you really enjoyed today's video. I hope that it gave you some inspiration or that you had fun. I said or, it can be both. Actually, I hope it's both. I hope you gained inspiration and had fun. Everything that I used in today's spreads will be in my Pinterest board, which is always linked in the description box in case you're not already following me there, as well as my other social medias. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them. I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for all of your support. Liking, commenting, subscribing, even just watching, it really does mean a lot to me. I hope that you are spending the last days of summer well. I definitely hope you're staying hydrated. Please make sure you're still drinking water because it's very hot still. And I'm happy that we could hang out together again like this today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!